My name is Brenda Raquel Cortez Velasquez, and I'm going to talk about one of the topics that is most important around the world. That topic is food insecurity, and the relationship between that concept and development. First of all, we need to define what is food security. Food security exists when all people at all times have physical and economic access to sufficient, safe, and nutritious food that meets their dietary needs and food preferences for an active and healthy life. That is the definition according to the World Food Summit of 1996. There are four dimensions for the food security. The first one is availability, the second one is access, the third one is utilization, and the fourth one is stability. The four of them all together make the dimension for the food security concept. There are also two types of food insecurity. The first one is chronic, and the second one is transitory. The main difference between these two is that the chronic food insecurity is for long term, and the transitory food insecurity is for short term. Now, if you wonder how is this related to the development of a country? Well, the answer is that it is very important for the development of any country because one of the main pillars, if you want to call it, is the people that have access to the basic needs. If they have that solved, then they can focus on innovation, on technology, etc. So I'm gonna present a small chart that I have here. It's as you can see, poverty is one of the main problems for food insecurity. Poverty is when people don't have they don't have water, or they don't have food, or they don't have a house, then they're not gonna have money to buy food. So that leads to the food insecurity, hunger, and malnutrition. Hunger is the sensation, a painful sensation of people that don't have access to eat food. And malnutrition, well, that is the lack of protein, carbohydrates, etc. And then that leads to poor physical and cognitive development. That means that the people that don't meet their dietary needs, they're going to have problems at school. They're not gonna focus. They're not gonna be productive, which is right here, low productivity. If people don't have what it takes to solve their dietary problems, they're going to be faced with further problems when they grow up, or they're gonna have diseases. They're gonna have low production in their work, etc. I'm gonna present a map. It is the Hunger Map 2015. In this map, you can see that the regions where the undernourishment is very low is gonna be marked on this light greenish yellow, and then the undernourishment that is moderately low is in orange. You can see that most likely that's the region where's China located, Colombia, Peru, where else? Near Indonesia. That's moderately low. Moderately high is the one that's very strong orange, like India or Mongolia or Bolivia. Those are the places where the undernourishment is moderately high. The undernourishment that is very high, it's 25 to 34%. You can see that it's concentrated in the regions of Africa like Chad, Ethiopia, and Tanzania, and Zimbabwe or Afghanistan. That's where the problem is very severe, and where you can see that it's 35% and over. That is very high. It's also in one of the regions of Africa. That would be Central African Republic, Namibia, Zambia, and well, that's most likely where they're very undernourished. Well, some of the stats on this topic is that it costs as little as 25 cents a day to feed a hungry child and change her life forever. And another fact from the FAO is that about 795 million people, or 1 in 9 of the world's population, go to bed hungry each night. So these are just some facts that make you think, where are we heading to? Right here, well, we're located in Mexico. This region doesn't have a lot of percentage of undernourishment. It's about less than 5%. But if we compare it to some other places, like for example Chad, we can see that there's a huge difference between the people that live here and the people that live here. Some other facts that I found from the World Food Program is that the poor nutrition causes nearly half, 45% of deaths in children under 5. That's about 3.1 million children a year. Then 1 out of 6 children, roughly 100 million in developing countries, is underweight. And another fact is that 1 in 4 of the world's children are stunted. In developing countries, the proportion can rise to 1 in 3. If women farmers had the same access to resources as men, the number of hungry in the world could be reduced up by 150 million. And another fact is that 66 million primary school age children attend classes hungry across the developing world, with 23 million in Africa alone. Like I mentioned before, Africa is the region where there's a lot of undernourishment. And finally, the WFP, the World Food Program, calculates that $3.2 billion is needed per year to reach all 66 million hungry school-age children. So, with these astonishing facts, we can say that food insecurity is a very problem, because it causes vulnerability in the countries where it suffered. So we need to take more action to solve these problems and to help the people around the world that are facing the food insecurity problem, because it is not just in the region of Africa where it's lived. Well, that's where it's more concentrated, but it's a problem that is worldwide, and it needs to be taken care of.